All right. Turn on some music. The music. All right. I'm just going to have a little fun. We've got some friends that came into the studio. I'm going to try to get them to come in here and sit down with us. In the meantime, if anybody wants to come on, I'm going to put the link on my page on Facebook. Let's see. Here we go. If you want to come in the studio, just click that link. So if you want to come in the studio, just click that link. And we'll see if my friends that have come to visit us here in Sedona want to have a conversation with us as well. Come on in the studio. Rihanna, Elaine, Zana, Flicks Love, Sedona Horse Medicine, you're coming on. I got your message, and that date and time is good for me. I'm going to send you a confirmation. Yeah, so Hung Nguyen came into town today. She's with Ashley Lee. We're over here at the studio visiting with Ty and Serena. And I think we're going to have a friend of ours pop in here in a minute. I gave her the link. Anybody wants to come in? Just click the link and let's talk about what's happening. So I don't have to be here by myself. Oh, here we go. Here's Kimberly. All right, perfect. And here's another one, Claudia. There's Kimberly. Let's see. Here's Claudia. Hey, what's happening? What's going on? Can y'all see each other? Okay,
yeah, hi.
There's Claudia. There's Kimberly.
Is that Ashley? No, Kimberly.
That's Kimberly.
Oh, okay.
Kimberly's here in the Sedona area. She lives here in the Sedona area. She's coming in to do a show here in the studio in a few days.
Wonderful.
Claudia is the nomad. She's all over the place. Yeah.
Very nice.
So how are you guys doing today? What's going on today? How are y'all feeling with all this energy? It's good to meet you, Kimberly.
Yes, nice to see you. I've got a little bit of a lag. I don't know. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
You're good.
Maybe I have my computer on our station, but well, I'll tell you, I am feeling excited because I can feel something coming, but it feels very also kind of stagnant, and I'm lacking patience.
That sounds like most of the last 10 years.
Yeah, well, true.
But no, it does feel like something's here.
Talk about patience. Yesterday I went to get my hair cut, and under the smock, I was just going. I was, using my anxiety. It was coming out, but then I was continuously calming down. It just these energies. I mean, just 10, 15 minutes ago, I got tired.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I was 2 days ago. I could have slept like 14 hours, but I couldn't.
Yeah. Yeah, my sleep has been very erratic for, especially during the eclipse season. I definitely felt my sleep waking up several times in the middle of the night, and sleep has been elusive for a while.
Yeah, that eclipse corridor was no joke.
Yes, yes. Uh, and
Re-
this time of year is always, I mean, Scorpio season is the going to sleep and the rebirth, and we enter that season where we're supposed to, and I say supposed to, but it's the natural rhythm of the earth and everything to go into kind of more of a sleep mode. And being the Leo that I am in the summer, and winter is not, and I having horses, winter is not my favorite time of the year in Sedona, but it definitely makes me uh almost forces me to go into a slower mode. But something seems to be a little more heightened this
yes.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As I was sitting here noticing, it's so funny. Sometimes my ears are plugged up and things, and my nose too, and everything. But I'm feeling a really an opening
Mm.
in in my sinuses, and it's kind of like abnormal. Well, I just got here to Yuma though, new area, but I was in the desert yesterday, so,
Mm.
so just
How,
strange.
Claudia, how is it? How are your sleep patterns with the lifestyle you're? Because I know a lot of people that are living that lifestyle. They kind of come up with the sun or before the sun comes up and go to bed as soon as it gets dark.
Well, like you, I've been going hard since June, and so that's why this time right now is really a pinnacle for me because I'm just going to take a break. So anyway,
Mm-hmm.
but my sleep. Now I'm used to waking up at about 4 o'clock in the morning, getting up, smoking a little bit, and then going back to sleep. Both both kinds.
I love your candor.
Yeah.
Hey, hey, listen.
Oh, see, you can't argue with the
And then
raw, real, authentic, transparent, transparent. That's the word.
I transparent. Yes, I only pretty much went through eighth grade school,
Mm.
so I made up the rest.
No, you did a great job.
You know, I mean, I went to high schools, but I went to four high schools, and I noticed all my life I was wanting to get with friends rather than go to learn something. I wanted to have the friends first, and then you'd study whatever they want you to study. So, but anyway, I forgot where I was. Oh, damn it! Never mind.
It's all good.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff. I know we're going to talk on the show, Kimberly, soon. Um,
Yeah.
hey, yeah, you want to come on with us?
Live?
Yeah. Hung the Gwyn's in the house.
Hello! So you
Sit
can't
down,
hear anything on the
please.
other side?
What's that?
You can't hear anything on that side?
No.
Wow.
Can you? You want
No.
to sit down and join the show?
Well, there's not a lot of screens.
I can make space.
Oh my god, it's gonna be tight.
Okay, hang on.
But I can't
Let's-
hear you.
Yeah, you can. Put this in your ear. In that ear. This
All right.
ear. Yeah, there you go. How's that?
Hello?
Can you hear all right? Can y'all talk?
Hello?
Hello.
How are you?
Hi.
This is Kimberly. She's going to come in here and do a show. She's out in by Ashley's in the Village of Oak Creek.
Oh, okay.
And you know Claudia.
Yes, yes. Claudia held down the stage. She was our unofficial, unpaid photographer.
Oh, yeah?
She stepped up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kimberly raises horses. Or what would you call it, Kimberly?
Uh, well, I'm a trauma-informed equine-assisted breakthrough coach, and I use outside of the box tools. I have a beamer mat for my clients and my horses, tuning forks, oracle cards,
Wow, very
human
cool.
design. So I definitely incorporate outside of the box healing tools, but then again, I also the very science of what horses assist in as far as regulating our emotional our what's the nervous system.
Yes.
for people that have experienced trauma. That's
see
really
that.
somatic therapy is really my specialty.
Yeah,
Well,
Yeah.
trippy.
I get that.
Yeah.
Oh, we're live.
We're live.
Oh, I thought you were just talking casually to these two women.
Oh no, we're live. We're live. You see here? Look, see here.
We
Yes,
met
yes.
Ashley
Yeah, see, I
Lee.
hugged her. Oh, there
Oh,
she
you
is.
see.
Ashley Lee and Kate Lumley
Yeah,
stayed in
hey.
my Airbnb, and that's how I was connected. So I had
Oh,
a
I
wonderful
see.
time meeting those two magical, inspirational, artistic, creative beings who have touched my heart from the moment I
know.
met them.
Kimberly's so nice. What a nice run of words she used to describe the two ladies.
Oh man. Let's see how I can do this. Wait.
What are we doing?
I'm trying to fix it. Wait.
For what?
Let's see. Oh no, that's not right. Let's see.
Is this a
I don't know what's happening here.
what's going on here?
Okay,
Ah.
we're ready.
Hi, that's a good
No, I just, I put it on there. We've got friends in the studio, and I figured, if I went on, you guys would come in and we could get you to talk.
Oh, they're Ashley's doing some body work with Serena.
Really?
Yes. So,
And you weren't interested?
well, Serena was doing some super arousing things with her legs, and then I had to leave. Just me.
Wait. They have a different way of speaking from Canada.
Yes.
Vietnamese descent.
I'm not sure what's going on in that studio, but it
sounds
felt a little
bit
bit more intimate than I should have been. When you're observing things, you're like, shit, why do I feel like I should be observing this? So, yes, I just left. I'm way more comfortable in front of the camera than observing that kind of action. Yes. So, hello. Welcome back, everybody.
So, did you want to talk about your adventures?
Oh, yes. I guess, well, that's not fair. Kimberly and Claudia is here.
Well, it's an open mic. We're just
Oh
gonna
no!
open.
You know what?
I'm
My
not gonna
dog is
monopolize
sitting
them.
here, letting me know that she needs to go out to go to the bathroom. I'll pop off. I just really wanted to say hi because he had said, "Hey, come on in." So it's so late, and I'll be in the studio on Monday, so plenty of
Oh,
time
I
to
will
talk.
see you.
Oh, yeah. That's
In the
right.
flesh.
Yes,
Very nice.
Wonderful. Nice to meet
So-
you, Kimberly.
yes. Nice to meet all of you. I will see you in the studio on Monday, and have a beautiful, beautiful evening.
You too. Take care. Thank you.
Aw, I like her.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was a nice friend.
That's a nice friend.
a nice friend.
Let's bring this over here like
It was
this.
like-
There we go.
Okay, there you
And I
go.
can just get half of my face.
Get half of your face.
I
All
think
right.
what happened to you
I'm
was
way
very
cuter
interesting. We have Mulberry Mountain Company in the house.
Ah,
so
yes.
I don't know. If you want to talk about it, whatever.
It's a, well, I don't know.
I don't know either. Oh, yeah, you said that was just between you and me.
We don't want to talk
Sorry.
things into reality
No.
quite yet. Let's just say the events. So I'm out in Sedona. It's on my bucket list. I wanted to come to Sedona forever, and then it just so happened that Ashley Lee has a place here, and she volunteered to drive me, and she doesn't have an incarceration record, so it works really well. So I hit her up. I was like, all right, well, Todd's there, and Serena and Ty are there. It'll be kind of fun to hang out with everybody. But the events leading up to get here was a bit of a doozy. I hesitated coming here because I'm still traumatized from the last Soulogy Fest Slammer. So I wasn't sure what will happen because, as everyone knows, you have a panache for the drama, and it just seems like every time I'm around you, it gets amplified. So I don't think that we're good playmates. You mentioned that. So the other thing is, so when I decided, okay, I'm going to go because your birthday's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Mr. Medina is turning how old?
61.
61 on December the 9th. So that'd be fun to come up and celebrate.
Yeah.
Big party. And once I made that decision, there was just a whole bunch of things that kind of, you would see it as an obstacle, or I think a lot of people in this community can resonate with this. So when obstacles are put in your path and it's not a path of ease, you kind of go into self-defense mode. Like, why is this not flowing? Are you being kept out of harm's way? Is this the universe saying maybe you should not have Todd Medina as a playmate? Or is this an access point for something worth kind of living on the edge for? Right? I think that's a poetic way of saying it with about blurting out big demons chasing me from Mulberry Mountain, because that's really out there. So I think the biggest thing is once I made the decision, all of a sudden I was in ER. As soon as I booked the ticket, I was in ER for 3 hours because I have a diverticulitis flare up, which it was fine for 2 years. And then as soon as I booked the ticket, I landed myself in there. And then the other thing that happened is the last night, so Vancouver, if you're familiar with our geography, we actually don't get any snow. I live there for a reason, because I am Asian. We don't do well in the snow, okay? We don't thrive in cold climates. So we got hit with probably a foot of snow within 24 hours. It shut the city down. We're talking mayhem in Vancouver. And I actually didn't think that I would be able to fly out today. Like, I set the alarm clock for 5:30 a.m. to get on the flight. But I was like, well, I don't think that YVR, which is the airport, is going to actually operate, because the flight, the snow was coming. And it's so rare for us to get snow. So when it was coming, I was like, oh, this is another thing. But there were so many other small things leading up to those moments that kind of forecasted it. So in my profession, I'm an interior designer. And the biggest thing, this was so nuts, was I was pulling paint colors for a project, looking for the color sage and blue. And one of the things, I just gravitated towards this really deep, throbbing kind of grayish color. It was a really intense color, not even on my spectrum of colors to look at. And my eye just drew right to it. And I was like so fascinated. And then I decided to read what the color paint chip is. You know what that fucking color paint chip was? It said Ozark Shadows. And the Ozark Shadows. So it's one of those things where you're just like, how do you dismiss all these things? And the code color on it, so it's basically a Benjamin Moore code color. No, actually it's maybe Sherwin-Williams. Anyway, the code color on is AC26. Sedona Soulogy Fest. No, sorry, not Sedona. Mulberry Mountain Soulogy Fest was on August 26th. That's the start date of it. And I'm like, it's bleeding into my physical world. Like, this is my professional world where demons don't normally play. That shit stays on the other side of Hung's life, not through paint chips. So when things like that happen, and then I looked at the time, and it was 11:11. That was the timestamp of it. So it's, and the thing is, when I came back, my dad kind of hinted. My dad's the type of person that he likes to mentor you through it without letting you lead to the conclusion yourself. And then when you get it wrong, he'll hit you over the head and say, you got it wrong. But it was one of those things, when I came back, he immediately felt the presence. He said, you brought something back from that mountain. Now you're going to deal with it. And I was like, you didn't even know I came from a mountain. You just thought I was hanging out with friends in the woods. I didn't post anything at all. I don't know if you noticed that.
Right? I did notice that.
I usually post so many pictures of my trips. I posted nothing of Soulogy Fest, hoping that if I didn't post it, it wasn't real what happened. And my dad had no clue I went to a mountain. For him to say that, you came off of a mountain. And so it's just all those things. So now I am here.
And the saga continues.
And we have a new hashtag, Nobody Died. So Todd and I are going to be impeccable in keeping that track record. But I'm not really exactly sure. There's more at play than your birthday, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
and you
yeah.
getting old. There's more at play there.
No, there's something going on. It feels like completion to me.
Really?
At some level, yeah. Like,
what do you think, Claudia?
it feels
Did you have any bleed through?
Oh gosh. Oh yeah. Yesterday. It all. God, for days. I mean, I would just have to. I was dizzy sometimes. I mean, right now I was a little bit dizzy. There must be some energies coming in and things. But completions. Well, I refer to the Zolkeen calendar, the Mayan calendar, very much. And we're in a lot of completions. A couple days ago, on the 23rd, we started a new week. And it's the week of the net, of plentiful abundance. How, like, what do we want to, it's a lot of things. What do we want to bring with us? What do we want to let go? Um, that whole thing. I'm not really making a lot of sense, and I don't have to talk myself down.
Yeah, you're doing great. I love your hair.
Oh,
I
thanks.
love it. You just got it cut. She just got it cut.
Ah,
Yeah, she was just here like 6 weeks ago.
was she?
Yeah.
Oh,
But completions, yeah, it's a lot of today is actually new starts and endings. So actually today, in the Mayan calendar, so that's totally perfect. It's been so wacky good lately.
wacky good.
Where
I like that.
Yeah, I was just listening to some other program again today, and the more we know and feel that everything's God, it totally changes for us. When our experience is everything is, and that's what I wanted to remember to say, Todd. Your mirror to me helps me open up and share, just like my dad used to. Just being with you on the phone earlier has this opening, and so I can reflect that a lot of people feel that way as well.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, you have this knack of making people feel good in their own skin, regardless of what that.
That's just because I'm, want to reel them in so we can take them on a great adventure.
You're like the master puppeteer of adventures. Well, there seems to be a lot of people, because this is like, we can pull other people up, right? If they wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if anyone that has been at Soulogy Fest wanted to jump in and just kind of recap if they've been having, Ozark shadows lurking in the background through your paint colors. Feel free to jump on.
I'm putting up the link right now.
Put on the link.
In YouTube, and let me get rid of that.
Or is it just exclusively to me, which is fine too. I can make peace with that.
I think it's a lot of people. No doubt. Everyone I talk to, every single person I've talked to, has said that something came with them.
Yes, but what is that? What is that manifestation that came with you? Like for me, it was big enough for me to make the travel out here. And we say it tongue in cheek that nobody died, but we are treading on pretty thin reality there of that blend, that vortex, right? So it's one of those things where it's just like, what is your manifestation of what happened there? I'm just kind of curious. I know Todd's, because we're personal friends, of what came through. But for everyone else, did you have to go through some life altering, I guess, constructs where you had to sit there and really sit with yourself and visit maybe aspects that you didn't really want to talk about out loud? I think is the biggest thing. You didn't want to face out loud, right? Where you're just like, because I think we're all at the point where we understand that when we speak about it, we give power to it. So if we give power to it, it can be a reality because we are masters of that. But it's almost, we're at the point where it's just like, what level of mastery do we want to be at? Do we want to really hold the power, understanding that we created a world of suffering? Is that something that we actually want to unveil? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it's just... You know what I mean? Because it's just, if we are...
Is it really thinking that we created the suffering?
Yes. That's what I'm throwing out there to everyone. Like, you are creating your own suffering. And then it's just like, what level of reality of suffering are you willing to take responsibility for? I guess is what the big question is to everyone.
I'm sorry. I'm surrendering to suffering.
What does that mean? That sounds like a Hallmark card to me. What does that mean?
It's not within the universal rules or universal law. So
it doesn't
don't
exist.
Really need it.
You don't really need it.
Exactly.
Okay. How about everyone
no.
else? No, you know what? And that if that works for you, that's beautiful, right?
Yeah, you were. Yeah, I mean, well, she's saying it doesn't exist, like where that frequency is or whatever. But wait a minute, you were saying
That's the
something,
Wetico.
huh? What?
That's the Wetico that we make a key.
Yeah, Watiko.
Watiko.
Watiko. Yeah,
Watiko.
it's that
Watiko.
stuff that David Icke talked about on the second show.
Ah.
So it's basically illusionary energy, like gossip would be, or just passing something on. Okay, you were talking about something though. I wanted to go back to it. What were you saying?
You have like a memory of a
Oh,
goldfish.
I know what it is. I know what it is. Okay, so you were saying, what is that came with us from there?
Yes.
Like literally or figuratively or both. I think it's like, I think it happened because of what's happening on the earth or in the universe or whatever. And we were able to like kind of chime in and accelerate things. And I think overall it's just basically what comes with us is stuff that kind of agitates our soul to push through, like what you went through. Kind of like a speeding up an initiation. And anchoring at the same time for the collective. I don't know, that's how I see it.
That doesn't even make sense to me.
It doesn't make sense?
Can you elaborate?
So in other words, none of it was bad.
No.
It's just, it was very striking and very powerful. And ultimately, it agitates the human, I guess, or the soul, whatever, to clear that initiation or to expand. Something like that. But it was intense. Like mine happened, what you described about yourself and everybody else, mine happened leading up to it. Like here when I was in Sedona. Remember when all that was going on?
Yes.
And I was being faced with all this stuff one day after
What
another.
about now?
Now it's now for me it's kind of like when I got back here for like 2 months, it's just been kind of like baby steps and easing into something. And today I actually feel like I'm in my body for the first time.
Really?
Absolutely.
What does that feel like?
It feels good. It feels.
You
feels,
hesitated. Are you sure?
Yeah, because.
You're like, I don't know. Does it
Because
feel good?
well, I don't want
Feels
to give.
familiar.
I don't want to give the wrong
But
impression.
is familiar good?
Well, I don't want to give the wrong impression. Like it feels like I'm balanced.
Yeah.
Because I'm as balanced as I can be. I don't feel like I'm out of whack. Look, I just moved out of my place. I don't have a home. I know I'm leaving very soon to go on the road. I don't know where I'm going, what's going to happen. So that's all there.
Yeah.
But there's this calmness, and like I feel like things are going to start getting built now.
So do you feel like you are with Claudia where you had to hit a surrender point? And then because you hit the surrender point, everything calmed down?
No. What happened to me is it all built up to the festival. So when everything happened at the festival, from the time I got arrested, I experienced the whole thing at a very high frequency. So I didn't really go through like any stuff like went through before I got there here in Sedona, like all the stuff I was going through, or even when I got back a few times, like when I went on that 6-day sabbatical.
Yes.
But no, I don't mean like I'm balanced, everything's cool. I just feel like we've cleared something huge. Not just Mulberry Mountain, but just as a whole. What do you feel? No? You're making me self-conscious.
You should be self-conscious. I'm not as I don't know. Okay, I'm
Well,
going
you're
to be.
never as
I'm going to
optimistic
be.
as
Yeah,
me.
I'm not as optimistic as you, and that's probably because I'm more realistic. It just feels to me like we are still in a lot. We are. Feels like the best analogy is like, and I don't know. Best analogy is like that volcano that's erupting right now in Hawaii. Let's talk about that for a second. So, dormant volcano, right before I come in, also starts erupting. It's one of those things where it's just like all this
Right.
built-in creative energy pushing and destroying, and when we're at the brink of it, and if we don't step through, you're going to lose the momentum. There's going to be a big like step back. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where it's just like everybody is at the precipice of their creative genius. We were talking about this.
You should talk about that.
So
yes.
the creative genius in our culture, so the Asian culture, is a flow of energy that comes from the spirit world and is always on loan to you. You do not own it. You are not the genius.
Right.
Okay, it is its own entity, and you can access it as human hybrids, but it's always on loan to you. So one of the things about, in order for this creative genius / chaos, so it is a borderline energy form. It creates a lot as long as you constantly show up, and as long as you are disciplined enough to capture it and put it into its physicality. That's where the genius parts of it comes. That's where innovation comes. That's where the next level of consciousness comes. But you constantly have to show up regardless of how you feel, regardless if there's snow, there's diverticulitis, or a bad paint chip name. You know what I mean? You still have to show up. The other thing I haven't mentioned, which is a little bit more potent, is for our family lineage, my dad has a bad hobby of fighting demons. He stopped when he was 25, but that was kind of, when he talked about it when he was younger, I thought it was just a one-off thing. I didn't realize it was a whole ancestral lineage that they did this. So when I explained, when I decided to book my ticket to Sedona, the other freaky thing that happened to me was in one of my astral dream states, I saw the entire lineage light up. So what in the visual that I had was my dad at 25, his prime, when he decided to not like basically participate in there. And then like hundreds of ancestors behind him just lit up in all their different forms. And it was weird. I asked my dad, I was like, so when you decided to fight demons, I'm using these terms loosely,
Mm-hmm.
how do you know you're a demon fighter? And it's not just you're manifesting paint chip names. You know what I mean? So he said, oh, you will know. And I was like, what does that mean? He goes, you will know. You will meet them all. And I'm like, who the hell are you meeting? When I had the vision come in the next day, I knew. I was just bred into it. I didn't ask for it, just bred into it. So then I knew the force or the being or the guardian at Mulberry Mountain was bigger than me, because it had to be bigger than me to get my ego out of it for me to pay attention. Because if you have met me, I have a really big ego you have to get through first. So even you paying attention to my world, you know what I mean? So it's one of those things where it caught my attention. And then so having all that force come through, and it just, so the creative genius part is, as this part of chaos and creativity flows through, we have to step up. We have to show up. Regardless if you are broken, if you're tired, you're sick of it all, you have to step up. And I feel like this is the turning point of whatever happened at Soulogy Fest, was that stepping up point.
That was the perfect explanation.
It didn't matter where you were at in life. It didn't matter if you got beaten down a million times. ET's like, you know what I mean? Kidnapped you and you grew up with no parents. Did not matter. All that shit did not matter. You still had to step up. You had to show up, because that flow was right there. And we, as a collective, needed to capture it, have the discipline, bring it into our physicality to lift the innovation and consciousness to the next level. So that's where it's just one of those things where it's just like, that's what happened there. And
Wow.
I'm afraid, I'm going to say it out loud, of what it is. Because if we don't show up, we don't capture it, that creative genius, it's on loan. We missed that point.
Right, I get
Right?
you. I get you. Yeah, you're right. It's like a wave,
Yeah.
and it's going to peter out. God, yeah, I get this.
Well said.
Yeah, and it's one of those things like, you know, when Claudia shows up regardless, even though she doesn't want to show up, she just shows up in her like beautiful little van. She putters up. Ernestine shows up even though her flight was delayed a million times with poor Susan Bornstein in tow. All these people showed up. You just had this instinct to show up, and you couldn't intellectualize it.
Right.
When you had people come up and say, why are you here? You're like, you make jokes because Todd Medina is in jail. I have to be here. Let's just go run the show. But it's not a joke. It's like something has come through that mountain, and we just needed to show up, and we're not quite done with it.
I see what you're saying. God, you hit this right on the head. So that's right. And that's what has come out of it. We showed up. It was unleashed. We've basically integrated it. But if we don't show, because it's like more power.
Yes. If
So,
we don't
yeah, it's
have
like-
the discipline to execute it, you missed the chance
Right.
for the next level
Right.
of creative geniuses being embodied in this world.
Yeah, that's right. It's like, yeah. There's a responsibility that goes with it.
It is.
And if you don't rise to the occasion, it could be painful.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to say that.
Remember, new hashtag, nobody dies, everybody. Let's go team. Everyone show up.
Oh, man.
Yes.
That's funny. But that's real. Yeah, now I get it. Totally get it.
But that's what it is, right? It's just
It
like,
is.
and then everyone is now like, we have all of this energy. It feels chaotic. It feels uncomfortable. Feel like you want to puke. Feels like you can't eat anything. Feels like
Right.
you haven't slept. It's because now it's out. It's whatever happened, it's out.
Right.
Now you got to do something with it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's the challenge.
No, I like that.
What are you going to do with it?
I guess we're going to find out. I know one thing. I'm not going to move as fast as I did before.
What do you mean?
I came out of it thinking, I got to keep this going.
Oh,
I gotta
yes.
keep this going. But I didn't realize there was going to be a
bit of a-
60-day, yeah, you know.
Nobody wants to join us?
No, I guess not.
This is just a huge shit that we're going through. And Todd, you know how you say that, they tell you that you want, do it new, in a new way, like
Right.
you've never done it before?
Right.
That's what I was talking about. That's what's coming up for me now. You know, everything is new, so do a new way, and you know.
Yes. Well, I think it requires it. It requires it because you have there's a new something out there.
No link to join.
Here, let me send the link.
I think
Hang on.
it was earlier
Kate.
in the comments.
Yeah, but I have to do it this way.
All right.
Kate. There we go. Well, somebody's there. Let's see. Julie.
Which Julie?
I don't know. Julie.
Oh, Persian. Hello.
All right.
How are you?
Oh,
I'm good. I like your hat.
Thank you.
Very cute.
I'm trying to keep warm.
Here, you be on there.
What?
You be on there.
Why?
Did you?
This is weird. Now there's a gap. It looks like nobody's on here.
No, just
Our two giant heads don't fit well on the
No, put it on there.
screen. How about you,
Have
Julie?
Have you been back to Canada since Arkansas?
Oh yes, of course. I
And then you
needed
came
a
back down to
reprieve.
Arizona.
Yes, I needed a reprieve. If I was being honest, I think I needed to just hide. I was in denial about what was happening there.
but you figured it out.
Well, an ER trip and a bunch of other things had to happen before I faced it. So it's one of those things. Yeah, no, this is the first time first day one of Sedona, but I've been back home in Vancouver the entire time,
I like
and so
this
all of
show.
this unfolded in Vancouver. Oh, Shannon McMillan.
oh,
That's Shannon McMillan, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Hello.
my-
Hi.
woohoo!
Yes. And how are you? Okay, well, let's start with Julie. So, what has happened for you, Julie?
Oh, I wish I knew. Well, I have been trying to figure out how to. Oh, I can see and hear the delay. I've been trying to figure out how to. I can't even say it, let alone think about how to do it. So, I juggle a lot of things. So I have the live streams that I've started doing on the YouTube and Creators of New Earth Facebook page, and Todd was our lovely guest recently. I freaking loved that. If you didn't watch it, you might want to go back and check it out. It was beautiful. But so there's, my creative endeavors with Creators of New Earth. I write a blog every week and I do a live stream, and there's some other things that I'm doing. And on top of that, I'm a live-in caretaker, and that's a 24/7 job that really only stops when I'm
Oh,
sleeping.
yes.
And then, as a mother, I'm sure you can relate. And then there's, trying to find time to take care of my body, mind, and spirit.
Yes.
And so juggling those things has been really stretching me. And uh, what else can I say about that? There's so much going on. I've also been having um, talks with Anna, who is the grandmother of Jesus. She appeared in my life before I moved back to Oregon, and we've been having lots of discussions about DNA. And when I was in Arkansas, I took a ride with Ashley because I know she's been doing a lot of work with her DNA recently, and I had some questions to ask her. So, basically, as we were driving along down the road in her car and having this discussion, um, we started talking about um, like when a strand of your DNA has a suppression, and um, so it's so hard to describe. So we sussed out that there are um, certain strands of DNA that where humanity is holding suppressions in their DNA, in specifically in regards to money. We were talking about money. And then I sussed out that I myself had 4 strands of DNA where there were suppressions around money. So I've been working on that, and I've made my way through 2 strands. I haven't gotten to the third or fourth strand yet. And it's been very enlightening. It's not really something I can say, here's the formula, it's A, B, and C, but it's been a very enlightening journey. And then, so, that sounds kind of out there, but what I want to look for when I'm doing things like that is I want to see how it shows up in the real world for me.
Mm.
And so it is showing up. And one of the things that I was tasked with was um, to ask for a serious pay upgrade for the work that I'm doing, because I started researching what live-in caretakers get paid, and I realized that I was basically doing this job for next to nothing, like
Like
practically free.
like you're
And
giving them
so,
money? That's
yeah, well, I was having to dip into my own savings to make
yes.
my life happen, and that wasn't working for the amount of work I'm putting out. So I had to have a talk with the son and say, "Here's what I want, and I can't budge. It's either we can do this or we can't, and I understand if you can't, but here are my boundaries." And I got what I asked for. And I also haven't been getting any time off. Like in 8 months, I've had 7 days off. 5 of them were in Arkansas, and then I had a weekend where I uh, went somewhere, and it's totally unsupportable. So I had to say, hey, I'm gonna need a week off every season, because it's not like I'm getting 1 or 2 days off a week. I'm doing it every day, month after month after month. And so how does this relate to the DNA? Well, I was saying that when you're making those kind of changes, you want to make sure that it's not just some fantasy you're having in your head. You want to look for the signs in the physical world. And so part of lifting that suppression was realizing my own worth, and being brave and bold enough to know what I'm worth and ask for what I'm worth and not budge on it, and then see it come into the physical world. So that's what I've done, and that's what I'm seeing. And there was also stuff there around the throat chakra, speaking up for yourself, speaking your truth, using your voice to manifest what you want from the world of thoughts and ideas to the physical world. And it's a lot. Sometimes I see what everyone's saying on Soulogy, or what they're going through, or the you know, the breakthroughs that they're having, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm still so totally 3D, and my ego starts playing around with me like, oh, my evolution isn't happening, and I'm just stationary, and you know, I'm missing the boat, and all of this, you know, bullshit that the ego likes to tell us. And but meanwhile, I'm over here having conversations with Anna and lifting suppressions off my DNA, and asking for what I want and getting it. So I must be doing something, you know. And it's been good to do these live streams. It's I'm very glad that my spirit was encouraged, and that Todd encouraged people to do it, and that I took the ball and ran with it as far as I can run, you know, doing the job that I'm doing. But it's also lovely being in the Pacific Northwest, being around all the green and the rain and the trees and the beach. And I think that's my report for now.
That's pretty comprehensive.
Thank you for the comprehensive
It was
report.
very good, though. Very good.
Shannon, where are you at, Shannon? This doesn't look. Is this is not your
Yeah,
RV? Is
that's
it?
hers.
Oh, okay.
I'm in Sedona.
Oh, you're in Sedona. Oh, right.
here,
She
yeah.
followed. She caravaned with you. Yes,
She's
yes,
been
I
in
knew that.
Sedona area.
Jeez, man.
I'm still here, yeah.
Ah. What has anything weird happened to you since we left? Or is it just exclusive to Todd and I? Because Claudia surrendered, so she's in her happy place.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of weird stuff. Yeah, I just really just wanted to show up. I don't have a lot to say right now. I just really wanted to show up and see everybody. Yeah, this is the first time I'm like doing this with y'all. So
Aw, thank you.
that's-
That's so precious.
Yeah.
You know what? And I thank you for reminding me, because I forget. 'Cause I think you and I both forget because we're on camera. Well, I'm on camera a lot for my own place, and then you're on camera yourself. So it is hard, you know, if you're not the type of person that is on camera to show up, and that is a big leap. So thank you for showing up. It's steps like that I think everybody needs to do. Not everybody needs to be demon slayers from dragon lineage or all that bullshit. You know what I mean? And it's just like Julie. Not like if for me, adding value to my work has always come naturally for me. And I forget because sometimes I have a hard time relating to people. So Morgan says, you don't have those programs running. So it's not. So because when people say stuff like that, I just kind of look at you kind of quirky. Like, what's your problem? Just ask for it. But I forget that, you know what? Shannon needs to show up. That is part of your journey to be visible, to be heard, to be acknowledged. And Julie is part of her showing up is to ask for validation, to value herself, right? To create value that you're not there for nothing, right? You would like some compensation for it. And for Claudia to show up and just say, I'm just happy being here. You know what I mean? Those are all big moments and I forget. So but it adds to the ripple effect of basically the creative genius, because if we all do our part, regardless of what it is, doesn't matter. It's always on the precipice of fear, right? Where you just need to step over it, regardless of what it is. Changing the paint colors in your house, trying a new hairdo, doesn't matter. If everybody could just step over that threshold, regardless of how big or how small it is, that's where we collectively leap into it and create that structure around the chaos energy to be a creative genius. Are we going to bring Kate on, or is she just going to hang out?
She's not there.
Oh, did she disappear on us?
She hadn't come in. No, Kate, I sent it to your messenger. I sent the link directly to your messenger. Okay, so 6 weeks before the Soulogy Fest, we did a show. We were having a talking. Then we're like, let's go online, creating from the chaos.
Yes.
Could you imagine? Okay, I imagine you then having a show with you now.
I know, we're brilliant. Like, what the? I didn't know what I was saying back then. Did you?
No, well, I don't think we did, but we were right. That was the thing.
we didn't even know it.
But now you're able to really verbalize it
Yes.
very well.
Because we have sat with it, right? We've sat with it. I think everyone is on that precipice where if you are kind of by force or flow, some people have a beautiful knack of flowing with it. Some of us just requires a little bit of a push over the ledge to get going, right? Doesn't matter. If you, by force or flow, if you can access it, then it's the next level of creation. Oh, there's Kate.
Kate.
Todd's face got cut off.
Oh.
Oh, I'm okay with that. I don't know.
I think the ladies prefer seeing your face.
Kate.
It's called target marketing.
Kate may
Todd.
not have the signal for it.
Oh.
Kate's signal, I think.
She's frozen.
Yeah, her signal's too weak. Oh, come back, Shannon. I was removing Kate, and Kate removed herself, and then I accidentally removed Shannon. Yeah, that was a pretty good synopsis for starters. We can revisit this conversation.
Are we waiting for someone?
That means I'm ready to go.
Oh, this is an awkward pause.
51.
Are you done?
Well, I just wanted to come on.
Yes.
I was just going to take a chance to see what would happen.
Yes.
Which is what happened. Which
Yes.
was
Oh,
very
Todd,
cool.
can I ask you before we get off of here?
Yes.
Did you switch from Restream to Ecamm? Are you going to use Ecamm from here on out?
I used both of them.
Oh, you use both. Okay.
Yeah. Ecamm is just like a broadcast software, so you have to send it. You have to send it to. Let's see if we can get Kate on for a sec. You still have to send it to the multi-stream.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. Yes, we would like to know what kind of action, interaction, reaction, experience you had from the Soulogy Fest.
Nope.
She's very intense.
I feel like she has a lot to say, and it's just not happening.
But we got plenty of time.
No, I know.
We got days and days.
All right.
All right.
I think that's all. That's all for tonight. Hit the road.
Claudia, thank you. Julie, thank you. Shannon, thank you. Wherever you are. Sorry, I didn't mean to X you out. Kate, we can't hear you.
How long are you going to be in Sedona?
I am 1 week.
Right on.
Yes.
Have fun.
Thank you.
She thinks it's a week.
It's a week.
I have intel.
Whatever.
That says that.
You can take your intel and shove it up there. I'm here for a week.
Hey, don't make me call my friend the Mulberry Mountain guy.
He ain't no friend. It's pest control. That's what I'm here for. We have a problem. Houston, there's a problem.
Okay.
All right.
All right, we'll see y'all.
Good
Thank you.
night.
Well, have fun on your birthday.
Thank you.